opening hello, soul family and welcome to spiritual universe. Perhaps someone connected to your heart has become distant, silent, or difficult to understand. You can still feel their energy, yet their lack of words has left you questioning what is real, what they truly feel, and whether this connection still matters to them. Spirit has brought you here because there is a message waiting to be revealed. In today's reading, we will explore how your person feels about you right now, what they have been thinking, how they see you, and what they may be struggling to express. Stay until the end because the final message may reveal the truth hidden beneath their silence. This reading will help you separate fear from intuition, understand the deeper energy of this connection, and regain clarity within your own heart. By the end, you may see their silence and your journey from an entirely new perspective. Take a slow breath, open your heart, and allow Spirit to bring forward the truth and healing meant for you today. Let us begin, **2. The Fool **, the beginning that had no map **, the first card appearing in this reading is the Fool, carrying the energy of a new beginning, emotional freedom, limitless possibility, and the uncertainty of stepping forward without knowing where the path will lead. Your divine masculine is reflecting deeply on how this connection began. There was something beautifully raw and innocent about its origin, because neither of you entered it with a clear plan, a definite promise, or an established label. Nothing was forced into a rigid structure. The connection simply opened on its own, allowing one soul to recognize another before either of you understood what that recognition would mean. You may have entered each other's lives with very few expectations. Beneath the surface, there was a quiet agreement that seemed to say, "Let us see where this goes." Neither of you needed to speak those words because the energy between you already carried them. At first, this openness may have felt liberating. There was no pressure to define the relationship, make immediate promises, or understand every emotion that was beginning to emerge. You were simply experiencing one another, exploring the connection, and allowing it to unfold naturally. Perhaps one or both of you had recently survived something emotionally heavy. You may have been healing from a painful relationship, rediscovering your identity, or learning how to trust another person again. Your masculine may also have been uncertain about who he was, what he wanted, or what he was emotionally prepared to offer. Whatever the circumstances were, your heart said yes long before your minds could explain why. This is the sacred essence of the Fool, taking a leap of faith without knowing where you will land. There is no destructive energy surrounding the beginning of this connection. Instead, your masculine is now reconsidering the unspoken agreement that once existed between you. He may be asking himself whether the two of you truly intended to remain undefined forever, or whether the connection has quietly become something neither of you can continue to ignore. He can sense that you have changed. Your energy feels more grounded, certain, and self-aware than it did when this journey began. You are no longer standing in the same emotional place, waiting for the connection to tell you who you are. You are moving with greater confidence, and he feels that shift even when you say nothing. Yet, the change is not occurring only within you. Something is also awakening within him. What once felt exciting because it had no definition is now making him pause. He is beginning to wonder whether he should speak, clarify his feelings, or acknowledge what has developed between you. Psychologically, this places him in unfamiliar territory. He may recognize the emotional importance of the connection while still lacking the language or courage to begin the conversation. Your masculine is not as detached as he may appear. The open space between you is awakening a quiet but persistent longing within him. This is not possessiveness, control, or emotional dependency. It is a deeper question rising from his soul. What are we truly becoming? He is not asking because he wants to control the journey. He is asking because being connected to you is beginning to feel strangely familiar, safe, and comforting. For the first time in a long while, another person's energy is beginning to feel like home. That realization frightens him because the Fool never expected this uncertain road to lead somewhere so meaningful. Your masculine may not have expected you to affect him so deeply. In the beginning, he may have believed you would be a beautiful moment, an uncomplicated connection, or one brief chapter within a much larger story. Now, however, he finds himself returning mentally and emotionally to the beginning. He remembers the way you listened without judgment, the way you offered your presence without making demands, and the way you gave him space without making him feel abandoned. Your calmness, confidence, and natural authenticity are causing him to question whether he is ready to experience something deeper. Although he may not have spoken this question aloud, he carries it within him as though the answer matters far more than he ever expected. This may be the sacred pause before the next leap. The Fool is circling back, not because the journey was a mistake, but because something must now be acknowledged before the next phase can begin. The original unspoken agreement may no longer be enough. His heart is beginning to desire clarity, and yours may be asking for the same, yet neither of you needs to chase or force that clarity. True clarity does not always begin with a conversation. Sometimes it begins as a feeling that becomes too powerful to deny. Spirit is allowing both of you to sense the transformation before it is spoken. Divine Feminine, you may also be looking back at where this connection began and comparing it with where you stand today. Through that reflection, you are beginning to understand why this bond has become so powerful. It was never meant to remain frozen in its original form. It is alive, evolving, and asking both of you to examine not only the promises that were spoken, but the truth your hearts have known all along. Before we move to the next card, take a moment to reflect on how your own connection began. Did it enter your life without a clear plan, only to become more meaningful than you ever expected? Has the silence between you started to feel less like an ending and more like a pause before something deeper is acknowledged? Share your experience in the comments or simply type, "I trust the path that is unfolding for me," as an affirmation that you are ready to receive clarity without chasing or forcing it. Asterisk 6 0010 00 Section 2. The Queen of Wands your transformation is calling him forward asterisk. The Queen of Wands represents the energy you are embodying now, Divine Feminine. You are becoming radiant, courageous, sensual, spiritually grounded, and deeply rooted in your own power. This is not merely a change in how you appear. It is a transformation in how you carry yourself, express your truth, and allow yourself to be fully seen. Your divine masculine is noticing this shift, and it is causing him to see you in a way he never has before. At the beginning of the connection, you may have been quieter and more reserved. You were selective with your presence, careful about what you revealed, and protective of the tender emotions that had once been misunderstood or taken for granted. You allowed him into your inner world gradually because you were carefully packing the intimacy between you. Now, those protective layers are beginning to fall away. You are not simply becoming more emotionally open. You are stepping into a version of yourself that is confident, spiritually awakened, expressive, and anchored in self-trust. You are no longer waiting for another person to recognize your value before allowing yourself to live fully. You are giving yourself permission to exist without shrinking, apologizing, or hiding your depth. This transformation is affecting your masculine because your power can no longer be ignored. He may have grown comfortable with the quieter, more contained version of you. He may have believed the connection could remain simple, undefined, or emotionally controlled. Yet, your growth is naturally changing that original dynamic. You are not demanding that the connection evolve. Your evolution is changing it without the need for pressure, explanations, or ultimatums. Your glow-up is rewriting the terms without requiring you to say a word. This is not a strategy designed to gain his attention. It is the result of alignment. You have realized that you do not need to dim your light to be loved properly, and that realization is dissolving the old agreement between you. It is not destroying the connection. It is liberating it. The question is no longer only, "What do we have?" The deeper question has become, "Can this connection grow with me?" Your masculine can feel that question building within the energetic space between you. As you become more honest, expressive, and self-assured, he is being invited to examine whether he can meet you with the same emotional depth. Your transformation has become a mirror, reflecting the places where he must grow, become more vulnerable, and rise beyond the version of himself that once felt comfortable remaining distant. He notices the certainty in your voice, the clarity of your ideas, the confidence in your body language, and the unspoken truth within your eyes. Your presence now carries both strength and invitation. It draws him closer while also asking him to become more authentic. You may never have verbally redefined the relationship, but your energy already has. This new version of you is not too much. She is not confusing, unattractive, or overwhelming. She is captivating because she is real. Your transformation is awakening something within him that had remained silent. For the first time, he is seeing you as vibrant, raw, powerful, and unforgettable. Although your growth may have caught him off guard, it is also calling him forward, inviting him to move beyond observation and discover whether he is ready to meet the woman you are becoming. Imagine that in the early stages of this connection, you often softened your opinions, waited for him to take the lead, or held back your deepest feelings because you feared that showing too much would push him away. You may have accepted uncertainty while quietly hoping he would one day recognize the depth of what existed between you. But now, something within you has changed. You enter the same room with a calmer posture, speak with greater certainty, and no longer measure your worth by the amount of attention he gives you. You remain warm and open, but you are no longer emotionally waiting at the door for him to choose you. Your life is expanding, your creativity is returning, and your happiness is no longer dependent on his next move. He immediately senses the difference. The woman before him is still loving, but she is no longer abandoning herself to preserve the connection. This awakens both admiration and discomfort within him, because he realizes that remaining close to you now requires more than passive interest. It requires honesty, courage, and emotional presence. Your transformation silently shows him that love is still possible, but access to your heart can no longer exist without growth. Like the Queen of Wands, you do not chase him or demand that he change. You simply stand fully within your light, and that light reveals whether he is willing to step forward or remain where he has always been. The Two of Swords *****, the decision he can no longer avoid *****, the Two of Swords reveals the uncertain emotional space your divine masculine currently occupies. He is standing at a crossroads, caught between what feels familiar and what his soul is quietly urging him to confront. He may not yet know how to interpret everything awakening within him, but his confusion is not happening because you have been unclear. It is happening because you have become more authentic, emotionally layered, and impossible to fit within the simple definition he once gave this connection. Your transformation is forcing him to face a decision he never imagined he would have to make. The Two of Swords is not merely about choosing yes or no, staying or leaving, or moving closer or farther away. At a deeper spiritual level, it represents the moment when avoidance can no longer provide safety. Something within him must now be acknowledged, even if he has not yet discovered the final answer. Your masculine may be accustomed to maintaining emotional control. He may depend on obvious signs, direct explanations, and familiar patterns to understand where he stands. Yet with you, the experience is different. He feels himself being drawn closer, but he does not fully understand what he is supposed to do with the intensity of that feeling. He senses the chemistry, emotional depth, and transformation unfolding between you, but much of it remains unspoken. As a result, he may be studying your energy more carefully than you realize. He notices the subtle changes in your voice, your presence, your expressions, and the way you respond to him. He searches for clues that might reveal what you feel or what you expect. However, the more he attempts to decode you, the more deeply he encounters his own emotional uncertainty. This is where your growth becomes especially powerful. You are not playing games, withholding love, or deliberately sending mixed signals. You are simply no longer giving more than what feels spiritually and emotionally aligned. You have stopped over-explaining yourself, performing for acceptance, and carrying the emotional responsibility for both people. Your boundary now communicates a clear message. If you truly want to understand where this connection is going, you must be willing to step forward and discover it. The Queen of Wands does not chase someone in an attempt to make them recognize her value. She allows the strength of her presence to speak before her words ever need to. This is the energy you are now embodying. Because of this shift, your masculine is sitting with questions he may have avoided in the past. He is wondering what this connection truly means, whether he desires something deeper, whether he is prepared to offer more, and whether he can become emotionally available enough to honor what is growing between you. Even if he has not expressed these questions aloud, his soul feels the pressure to move. You are no longer energetically sustaining confusion or making uncertainty comfortable for him. You are not demanding an immediate answer. Your evolution itself is demanding clarity. For the first time in a long while, your silence may be speaking more loudly than your words. Yet this is not a silence designed to punish, manipulate, or withdraw affection. It is a sacred silence that creates space for reflection. You are no longer trying to prove your worth, persuade someone to choose you, or convince another person that the connection is real. You have already chosen yourself. That energy is deeply magnetic, but it is also confronting because it leaves no room for half-hearted commitment, inconsistent effort, or lukewarm love. Your masculine can feel the tension between his desire to move forward and his fear of making the wrong decision. Instead of approaching you directly, he may continue observing, testing the emotional atmosphere, and searching for signs that you would still be receptive to him. However, the old ways of relating to you are no longer working. You are no longer operating from the fear that you might not be chosen. You are living from the inner knowing that you deserve a love that arrives with clarity, consistency, emotional presence, and genuine intention. That knowing forces him to make a choice. He must either step forward honestly or step away and allow you to continue growing without him. Your power does not come from withholding affection. It comes from becoming clear. True clarity does not beg, chase, or negotiate against itself. It simply stands firmly in truth. Your energy is now rooted, quietly declaring, This is who I am, and this is what alignment looks like. If you wish to walk beside me, you must come forward with honesty. If you do not, I will continue to shine. Whether your masculine understands it consciously or not, the decision within him has already begun to unfold. In past relationships, you may have been the one trying to hold everything together. Perhaps you initiated every difficult conversation, searched endlessly for explanations, or carried the burden of creating emotional movement. This time, you are allowing silence to speak. You are allowing spirit to reveal what is genuine without forcing an outcome. Your masculine may still be trapped within his thoughts, but somewhere beneath the fear and hesitation, he understands the deeper truth. This decision is not simply about placing a label on the connection. It is about whether he is willing to rise and meet your frequency or remain where he is, and allow the relationship to fall away. *** 14. 0018. 00 Section 4. The Page of Cups ****, the truth revealed through the eyes ****. The Page of Cups carries the gentle energy of tenderness, emotional awakening, vulnerability, and feelings that are slowly rising to the surface. These emotions are not revealing themselves through dramatic confessions or grand declarations. They are appearing in quieter ways through lingering glances, softened expressions, meaningful pauses, and subtle moments that communicate more than spoken words ever could. Divine Feminine, your person can see what you feel. He watches you during the moments when you believe his attention is elsewhere. He notices the smallest changes in your voice, your expression, your gaze, and the emotional energy surrounding you. Even when you try to remain calm and composed, your presence may reveal what your words have not yet been ready to confess. Your eyes may already be telling him everything, yet he is revealing himself in the same way. The way he looks at you is neither casual nor temporary. His gaze lingers because something within him is trying to understand what his heart has already begun to recognize. When you enter a room, his attention may naturally move toward you before he has consciously decided to look. Even when other people are present, the atmosphere between you can suddenly change. Those around you may sense the emotional tension, quiet chemistry, or invisible current connecting the two of you, even though neither of you has openly acknowledged it. The Page of Cups represents the growing realization that this connection is no longer casual. In truth, it may never have been casual. Perhaps both of you were simply too cautious, uncertain, or emotionally guarded to give it a name. Now, however, the energy between you is becoming louder than the silence. Your eyes are carrying an entire conversation. One glance seems to ask, "I feel this. Do you feel it too?" Your masculine may struggle to express his feelings with words because he has not yet fully understood them himself. He may not have the emotional vocabulary to describe what is awakening within him. Yet his eyes, his energy, and